Absolutely nothing.
Besides what you've seen on History Channel.
Have you guys ever heard we're trying to take over the world? You've heard that? It's actually true.
And we're the devil.
But we've got to figure out how to organize a dinner before we can do that. So because I've got a lot of time. Really what Masonry is it's a fraternity of men. And our basic premise is men helping other men become better men. We're philanthropic in nature, especially to each other. We really cherish public education, which is one of the reasons you're here. Public education is the basis of freedom. And we're kind of behind that too. So if you guys have any other questions about it, ask one of the guys sitting in these chairs. Could I have all the brothers that are here tonight stand up?
And any other brothers that might
There's
be in the
one back
audience.
there, and there's probably a couple downstairs. This is a small sampling of our lodge and our fraternity. You guys will, in life, I think, recognize and probably have already heard some Masonic terms. Has anybody ever been given a 3rd degree by their parents for being that way? Yeah, you guys gotta loosen up. I'm up here all alone.
Don't ask the student, ask the parent.
I'm overweight. You guys are sitting there like stiff waters. Who's been in trouble for staying out late? I'm looking over here. I'm not buying it. You guys ever hear the term the 3rd degree? Thank you. Friday the 13th. Anybody heard of Friday the 13th? Real bad luck. Anybody know why?
That's when the Templars were all executed in France because they were supposedly hoarding all the gold and money, and the King of France wanted it.
Phillips Affair, that is true.
You know, actually, Masonry was, if you go back to the Templars, was the basis of our banking system. I'm going to let Worshipful Brother Jay, who was our master last year, tell you that.
That was back in, I think it was 1204, when King Philip II of France had borrowed money from the Knight Templars. They had the first banking system. And he borrowed so much money he couldn't pay it back. And he had, at that time, Pope Gregory V in his pocket. As a matter of fact, so much so that he made Gregory move from Rome to France. And he lived in France. So he went to Gregory and said, I want you to declare those Knight Templars as heretics. And this way we can get rid of them and I won't have to pay my bills. And so the two of them conspired, and that's when Pope Gregory did in fact declare them heretics. Now you hear that all of the Knight Templars were killed. That's not true. About 10% were. And especially the master, who was, you've heard, Jacques de Molay. Some of the young men that belonged to the de Molays, named after Jacques de Molay, who was the master of the Knight Templars at that time. But many of them fled. And a lot of them went to the New World here. Some went north. A lot of them that had the money, they wanted to protect it, so they went into the mountains where nobody could find them. Now, where are those mountains? The Alps. And where are the Alps? Switzerland, right. And that's how Switzerland became the banking community for the world, and it still is today. And if you go to a bank in Switzerland today, you still can't get any. They're very secret. And that's because those banks were started by the Knight Templars. So, I mean, that's a quick story, but it's amazing. That's where Friday the 13th comes from, because Pope Gregory issued the edict on Friday the 13th.
So it was kind of bad luck for 10%. So, real briefly, I'll tell you, in Masonry, a 3rd degree Mason is the highest you can get, the highest you can achieve. You've probably had grandfathers or aunts and uncles, not aunts, but uncles, great uncles, relatives that were 32nd and 33rd degree Masons, and they do exist. But in Masonry, the highest you can go is 3rd degree, and then up to the 32nd and 33rd degrees are kind of specialty degrees that you can go get. I'm a 32nd degree, Jay's a 33rd, Walt's a 33rd, Dave's a 32nd, Ron's a 32nd.
Don's a 32nd.
Don's a 32nd. Dave is, did you go white this year?
I'm a 33rd.
He's a 33rd degree, congratulations. Wayne is also 32nd, Wayne?
KCCH.
KCCH. So there's a lot you can do in it. The Masonic family also has a lot of organizations surrounded it. It's where this lodge and this lodge meeting is just for men. We have DMLA for young boys. We have Rainbow Girls and Joe's Daughters. Have you guys ever met anybody who's in Rainbow or Joe's Daughters? We have Eastern Star for the wives and family and women. And it goes, there's probably Amarafters. Walt, how many, do you think?
7, 8, 9.
Walt has a group that he has called High Noon, that they meet. And for lunch at high noon. I think they ought to change it to 11:30 and maybe I'd be on time. There's a lot of organizations in it, so if you guys are curious, ask a Mason, they'd be more than happy to tell you about it. Oh yeah, the shrine.
York, right?
York ride. The guys in the funny cars. Jay's actually one of the guys in the funny cars.
And a night temp?
He's a Knight Templar. He's also in the Village Bell Shrine that does the circus and helps kids out. Did you guys know the Shriner Hospital? Have you seen commercials for them on TV? Don't even have an accounts receivable department. Couldn't pay him if you wanted to. They couldn't take the money. So some of the work that the Masonic family does, one of, at our heart and core and soul is education. So we're really proud and happy to have you guys here. And I got to tell you, every year I come to it, I am just absolutely amazed. My name's Randy Harold. I'm master of the lodge this year. I don't know why they did it. Somebody wasn't thinking. It's kind of a progression. It's punishment for staying in line. And we're going to move on. Before we move on, we've got somebody from the Grand Lodge that's going to talk to you about our Colorado Masons Benevolent Scholarship Fund. Every year, how many scholarships they give out last year? 12, 11?
This year we have, sorry, just to have it, when we address this personally, the master of your said, we have 14 four-year college degree that we've awards and 10 vocational.
So, guys over here, if all my gibberish didn't get your attention, I hope that did. Because the Masonic scholarship is a full-ride scholarship. You have to attend a school in Colorado. It's pretty tough to get, but we brought somebody in here to talk to you about it. Also, local lodges offer various different scholarships too. So if you need some help and are looking, this guy, Walt Martin, would you please stand? Worship. You can talk to Walt. He's head of our education here tonight. And or Mr. Richard Dennett, and get some more information on it. We're going to have Richard tell you what you need to do to qualify for it. If you would like to, sir, please take the floor.
Up here?
I'm gonna escort you in the proper place.
I'll take We have to get escort after consult all. Worshipful the title, by the way, just in case everybody fears that. It's just the title, like the vice president, that's the president. And anyway, I'm on the scholarship committee for what we call, again, he said many different layers, the Grand Lodge. That means it comes from the state. And I say we all wear many different hats in this. As you saw, the Shriner. The other day I was asked at the Shrine, I was working the Shrine, I'm also a Shriner. Somebody said he wants to join us. He wants to join us. Us who? Because I'm so many things too. I ride the noble cycles in the Shrine, I ride a motorcycle, and I'm the secretary of my lodge. We're all joiners and service providers, I guess is what it is. We all a lot of us are ex-Boy Scouts, DMLA, veterans. Any veterans here besides us? Yeah, so this is a group for you. It's a bunch of joiners. At any rate, somehow, like worshipful here, I got selected after I was in the East. This is what the position's called, to be on this committee. I'm very honored. Very frightening thing to do for me. Every year I have to do this. November, you juniors, you're all juniors, right? In November, you need to have all your package ready to go and have all your ducks lined up, your 4 letters of recommendation, your transcripts, and at that point, you've done everything you could do. Hopefully you've been active in school, band, athletics, special community service type groups, church. We look at all that stuff. And then I personally, and there's 5 of us on that committee, 6 of us on that committee to elect. And us 6, we'll look at Facebook. We'll see your Facebook sites and see what you're doing. This gnarly, you didn't, all the gangs. We look at that stuff, believe it or not, because we're looking at 90 of the cream of the crop of the state of Colorado. And you guys are among them when these make it to us. I teach in the inner city as well. I teach at vocational college, and I teach at community college in Denver, Aurora, Arapahoe. I've been adjunct at all those. So I know, and that's my credentials. That's my background. We've got a judge from Olathe, from all different parts of the state. So when we get a batch of your applications are not from the kids that we know, they're from somewhere else. I get all the southwest farms and stuff like that. And growing up in Denver, I knew nothing about farms and what the kids do there. And they do a lot of things. And the sad thing is Denver does not, or the metropolitan area does not have as many people applying for this. And we're the greater, so please apply for it. It's not a full boat scholarship. It is $28,000. That's a lot of money. We're the 3rd largest in the state. It's the Better and the Daniels. And if you get one of those, we step back and you get those. Those are full of rights. There's 200 Daniels, and I don't know how many Betters they offer. So the hardest thing for me, and why I think I was invited by Brother Walt here, is that I was telling him the story the other day about how tough it is for me and for every one of us that are on that committee. We're committing triage. We have that batch of 90 or 100 applications that we have to look through, and then I have to cut out kids because I can only select 5, actually 4, and I present them. 2 weeks later, I'm in the table there with the other members, and I advocate for you. If you're one of my kids, I argue for you. I say this is the kid that deserves it. One of the kids that I argued for this year, and she's getting it. By the way, it'll be out May 1. The rest you'll know the rest of the list. But May 1, she had scoliosis, and she was little. They all don't need to be hardship stories, but she was just my wow kid because of everything else. In 4th grade, she had an operation, scoliosis. The back was messed up. She was a Shriner kid. Went to the hospital, and they did the operation. When she was in 4th grade, it's 5th grade. 6th grade, she had a heart attack. Rough. You think, wow, she's done. Well, she graduated from high school playing tennis. 3.89 GPA, helping the community, would go to the hospitals and help the children adjust and get ready for these serious operations, and the parents. And still was able to do that. Athletics, had church, community, had it all. That's my wow kid. 3 of my children that I advocated for got it. That's a lot, because there's 6 of us, so all of us at least get 2. I got 3. That's pretty neat. I'm real proud this year. I've been doing it for 7 years now, so. Supposed to be a 6th year. They re-volunteered me without me wanting to. But it's really tough, so just make sure that you have your credentials ready. I mean, everything, get your letters of recommendation. Don't be shy about what you do. Say it all in there, and get people that write letters for you to bring out things that even if you are shy to say and to talk about, to put it in there. Because sometimes we don't want to tell people, my dad's mom divorced, my dad, abandoned us. You're afraid to say these things sometimes, and it's kind of nice for us to know the complete story. Because we're not looking for that GPA. We do look at ACT scores, but that's not what we're also basing it on. We're basing it on the complete package. We want a good human being. Like you said, we take good men and make them better. We want good students, and we give them an opportunity. We give them an opportunity. It's not necessarily because you're in need that you won't make it. Because sometimes the way I look at it a lot of times, I don't get any help. I have a good job, and my kids, when they were going through college, I didn't have much help, so I had to do it. So I also look at that. It's not necessarily just because you're in need. Sometimes it's because you don't get help from, subsidies, any grants and stuff. So we help with that too. So Never say die until it's over. Anyway, I'm gonna make it brief. I was asked to keep it brief, but there's a whole lot of process that goes on behind it. Just be honest, and I want to say to you, congratulations, because not everybody gets invited into these rooms to be awarded like this, and so I give you my applause.
Guys, we've got some pamphlets over here for you, and Walt handed them out to you. If you guys need any help, get Walt's phone number afterwards. He's great at this stuff. Real quick, I'd like to acknowledge Brother Walt Martin, worshipful Brother Walt Martin. Let me explain, when I say brother and worshipful means that they've sat in this seat and they've been punished. A lot of them you can identify as Jay. Stand up for me. Worshipful Brother Jay. We've got these pretty little aprons. That's what you get. My brother Dave. This is actually my older brother.
He's my brother's brother.
He is actually my brother. But I'm actually not ashamed to say it.
That check will be in the mail.
I want to acknowledge the work that Walt Martin's done. Also, guys, there's a man that's not here tonight, worshipful Brother Jack Burns, who's been battling cancer for about 6 years. I want you to know that he was in your schools. He was talking to your administrators, your teachers, about you guys, and he is a past educator, kind of a hired gun to go clean up school systems in the state of Texas, and where else, John?
I did some in Taiwan, Fiji, South Pacific.
John's his son, so it's a great honor to have Jack and Walt working on this. We probably wouldn't be happy with those two guys. So before we get on with giving some awards, can I have everybody stand up and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? We actually do that.
Wayne, there's somebody on the stairs.
Brother Wayne?
Yes.
There's somebody on the stairs.
Somebody on the stairs?
Oh, that's good. This pamphlet has everything you guys need to
Waiting for
do.
somebody else.
To clean up your Facebook pages. I understand, I too am a big Facebooker. Brother Walt? Smoky Hill. Smoky Hill, our first one. And this is the young man from
Where's that good? Tell us your name. I know we spelled it right.
Siddharth Tripathi.
Okay, thank you. Siddharth, come up here.
We aren't gonna try that again.
Take all the pictures you want. This young man's going to Aurora Scholar at Hinkley High School real soon. Get another honor. That's why we're doing him first.
You know, my brother went to Aurora Central. You want to tell me that? I like Hinckley better growing up.
Oh, we,
Central.
Do you want to have your parents come up? Who's your parents? Would you guys like to come up and say a word or two about it? You just tell everybody. Tell us all the good stuff.
So I'm very proud at this moment that he's achieving this honor from this prestigious organization. I just want to say that Siddharth, since he is in school, he's very hardworking and very social and very dedicated kid for his academic area. He has a lot of connections with volunteer work in the hospitals, like a McDonald house right here, and he's also doing some senior citizen volunteer work. Very active in the debate team in Smoky Hill High School. He's so sincere and so dedicated for his studies that since he's waking up in the morning, I never have to woke him up. He woke up by himself, get ready, and goes to school. So that's very amazing for a parent that he does by himself. The only thing I have to say that achievement is always good, but never gain ego. You feel better, but never get ego kind of personality by receiving these awards, because there's a lot of things need to be done in life, and hardship and dedication never ends. And by this word, I will thank the Lord that I have such a nice kid. That's very nice. And hopefully, he will continue doing his good job in future too. Thank you very much.
That's all right. You know what, neither is mine. Take a shot.
So, yeah, I'm very proud of my boy, and he's very hardworking. And I think till the age of 5th grade, I was sitting with him for the homework and all those. And after that, I never had to tell him, do that, which is very kind of like not common with the kids. But now at this age, even though I have my doctorate in biochemistry back home from India, but a lot of the school system I don't understand over here still. So I just show him a couple of the paths that, okay, this, what you would like to do. And then he take his decision independent of by whatever he wants. And just he get okay from me, and then he does it by himself. And I'm very proud of that, and he's a good boy.
Do you want to say something? Are you going to be up here someday? I hope so.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. All right. Thank you. Oh, please. Here, put the big kid in front of me. You moved. You want to redo it? Yeah, he has to go do this other one. That's why we had him first. Congratulations and thank you. Keep up the good work. Yeah, let's finish with you.
Thank you, everyone. We have to receive another one, so we gotta go there. See you guys after class.
Good going, congratulations.
Congratulations.
You'll be up there next, right? All right.
Kaya Blanca. Kaya? Aya? Sure, I'm not gonna argue with you. Come on up, Aya. And can we have your parents come up too? Blanco was easy for me. See, I wasn't the kind of student. Took me a while. Aya goes to Smoky Hill. Japanese, you speak Japanese?
Yeah.
Wow. It's in the honors, student government, student body secretary, junior class president, National Honor Society, philosophy, and council of, what is that? Clubs. Youth empowerment. I'm pretty impressed. Do we have her award? I'll let your parents say something fun about you. Please tell us something we don't want to know and she doesn't want to know.
I'm just very proud of her, and I have no words to describe. Just she's a wonderful daughter, and that's it.
Well, thank you so much for having a very honor, award for her, and I'm also very proud of her, what she's done in the past years, and she really, very activity girl, and she's very smart, and always enjoy her playing, volleyball, and being very good girl too. So I'm very happy for her, and she's done without my help, and she knows how to survive through the years. So and something I'm very proud of. Thank you.
Anybody want to get a photo? Here, I'll just stand up back here. Hide this. Put a lot of work.
Middle of the knife and fork.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then where's, Mr. Mike Remus? We're honored because we also honor educators. And I gotta tell you, bud, I don't think I could be a teacher today.
You could, it's an amazing job. A lot of people talk about how hard it is. It's not hard.
People won't let me babysit this
It's
job.
fun.
And well, is there, Memphis State College, that's a great school.
No, Metro State.
Metro State.
That's even better.
Northern Colorado, and University of Denver, for 5 years. You guys, I've got to read this. This is, today's children are tomorrow's resources. Each child has a uniqueness that, if tapped appropriately, can become the positive energy of the future. I'm going to kind of stop there. That is awesome. I can't thank you enough.
Well, these young people are evidence of the amazing young people teachers work with every day. I mean, they're the future, and it's the investment is crucial.
Well, without you guys that give your time and effort, we're really doing things here.
Well, appreciate the Masons honoring.
There should be somebody here from Smoky, his wife's over there. Should point.
Oh, do we have a vice principal in this room last year? I would love you to come up.
Sure.
I want the dirt.
I don't know if there's any.
Is your wife here?
She's there. Molly.
Miss Molly, would you please join us? I want to use these first.
Me?
She's gonna talk about me.
I want the good stuff. What's he like at home? Does he leave his socks laying
Well,
there?
he spends so much energy all day with the kids, when he coached for 30 years, that by the time he gets home, he's exhausted, so he just lays around and watches the History Channel. He coached track at Smoky Hill for 30 years, cross country for 17, swimming for 6, football for 3, field hockey for 9. He went to Smoky Hill to student teach in 1978, and he's still there. I'm proud of him.
Thank you.
I think what you guys get to see about Mike is one of the things that we appreciate about him most is he lives his work. And you see that he really enjoys himself when he comes to work every single day. And that's what you want to see out of any educator. Mike was actually one of the first people that I met at Smoky Hill High School, and since he's been there since 1978, he actually remembers when my daughter, not my daughter, excuse me, my wife was the same age as my daughter. My wife was the same age as my daughter is now, is 3 years old. So obviously when you get an opportunity to work in schools for that long, you get an opportunity to begin to work with generations of students, and then eventually get an opportunity to see them grow up and be a part of the community as well. So in speaking on behalf of Smoky Hill High School, I can't say enough about Mike and everything that he does in working with all of the students in the school, as well as taking one of the bravest jobs of them all in teaching our young people how to drive. And we appreciate everything. We appreciate everything that Mike does for Smoky Hill, and we're just very, very much glad to have him part of our school and part of our community. Thank you, William.
The only thing I really would like to say, I'll keep it brief, is I'm honored to represent the faculty at Smoky Hill High School. There are tremendous teachers at Smoky Hill High School, as in all the schools in our community, but I feel I'm almost humbled because there are so many good teachers at Smokehill High School, and they're passionate about what they do. They believe in what they're doing. They put in countless hours with students trying to help them reach their dreams and goals. So I'm honored to be the person who represents Smokehill High School. I'm like at the bottom of the iceberg, I guess. But, yeah, hey, I'll tell you, every year I'm amazed at the teachers. The new young teachers coming in are so passionate and so energetic about what they're doing, so it regenerates me. And the young people, they are our future. I believe in them. They're wonderful. So keep up the good work, you guys. Thank you.
Never cover up the machine. I did not run track.
This gal from Cherry Creek School is gonna do the pictures and program in a news journal for Tuscaloosa. She might be published, okay?
If you guys will notice while he's doing that, we used to kind of go over GPA, and we aren't doing GPA this year. We're more interested in what you guys are doing. You guys are always the brightest. The GPAs are never the question. It's kind of interesting hearing what you're doing outside of school, what your passions are. So when you come up, I'm reading this and, wow. So, are we ready?
Yeah.
If I mess up anybody's name, I really apologize. I'm going to do it maliciously. Yasmin Takahama? Did I get that right?
Almost, yeah, Tacoma.
Takama. I was right there. Yasmin, would you like the other pens come up?
Yes.
I want to hear the good stuff. This thing while they're coming up. You play tennis, captain of the swim team, swimmer of the year in 10th and 11th grade, cross-country varsity, swimming varsity, tennis varsity. That one I don't like. I actually could do in the boys tennis manager. I don't like that. You volunteer at the Anschutz Medical Campus. You work with the Coalition for the Homeless, Preserve Colorado Youth Summits, Red Cross of America, Reading for Kids in elementary school. You're a science fair judge. Cup stacking tournament champion?
No, I was a judge there.
Oh, Pennies for Patients and Make-A-Wish Foundation. Reading, art, and faith in your house?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Would you guys like to say something? We didn't, huh?
I'm the dad, so Yasmin came from a Moroccan heritage. She was born Canadian and she's now American. So she carries all this background and she's proud of who she is and what she has to offer. And I remember one day she was 4-year-old, and she woke up in the morning and she came to me and said, "Dad, are we tomorrow today?" I was shaking my head and I said, "Well, I missed something." And then I asked her why, and she said, "Because today I'm gonna get my bike." And then I remembered that I was making this promise that she's gonna get her bike in a week, in 2 days, tomorrow. And so she's always looking at the future, looking ahead, and she is never looking too much back. And so she loves to help others and to be involved. And she keeps a good grade on top of this. So we're very proud of her.
She get the bike?
She got several bikes there.
Well, I'm really thankful for my parents and everything they've given me. Everything.
When she Yasmin goes to Overland High School. She loves it. She's very, very busy there. She likes to learn and she likes to teach others what she knows, which is very, very important. It's a pleasure to be with Yasmin. She never gave me a hard time. And yeah, we love
Let's get a picture. No, you can't run out of a picture. I want to tell you my dog is Canadian. Thank you. Sawyer McLean here? Sawyer McLean's parents?
Is that the young man from Overland?
Anyone?
Oh, he's in a robotics competition.
He's at the International Robotics Championships in St. Louis.
Wow. You missed the most important part of it. I threw you a Ferris Bueller in 180. A courtesy chuckle would be nice. Sawyer is, he's the founding of the Overland Robotics Club and serving as its president. He served as president of it for 2 years and was the lead software developer for 1 year. He's been a member of the National Honor Society. His main focus of his club now is community service and tutoring. Tutors other students in mathematics, his peers, and social studies. And he received the academic highest honor award for his outstanding grades in academic achievement. He's a golfer. He's pretty passionate about electronics. It's too bad he wasn't here. Next. I'll get him Overland. I can go all night. Teacher from Overland. This is Deborah Carnaval.
Carnaval.
That's okay. My students can't say anything.
I'm like 0 for 10.
Can you imagine what we have to do when we see 120 students?
Yes, Deborah, you know, as I said before, I got to tell you this. I can't thank you enough. I really can't. I was not one of these kids. You might be able to tell them. It served me well in real estate. It did not serve me well. And I apologize to you and all my other teachers. I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about yourself that I've got here, and if you make any mistakes, I'll be sure to correct you.
I think there's staff here from Oakland, I believe.
Yeah, well, we would love to have this.
And my husband is here too.
Oh, he's sitting over there. What's your husband's name?
Mike.
Biology.
You were in biology?
I was, because I got to cut up dead animals.
Yes, my students do that too.
Go ahead, tell us.
Okay, I teach anatomy and physiology. And yeah, my students have to cut up cats too. That's part of the curriculum. And I also teach biotechnology, which is a program that at the moment only Overland High School offers. And we're part of the new Institute for Science and Technology at the new STEM building. And I'm loving it. And I've been at Overland for, well, this is my 13th year. And I really have to say, there's terrific students there. I just love them. I mean, they're wonderful. And I don't even remember what I said here. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Well, we have a new STEM program in healthcare. And so we're starting a certified nurse aide program at Overland, first one in the district. And I'm part of the healthcare consortium of teachers and the nurse, and we're trying to put this program together. I guess I'm passionate about healthcare. And I also teach first aid, CPR, and AED. I'm a certified American Heart Association instructor. And I'd like to get our staff and our students involved in that because heart disease is the #1 killer in this country. And so I think we can do anything to help with that. I'm going to be right there doing that and helping them.
Thank you. We got David on his dad when he was 14 years old, heart disease. It also says here, yeah, it's okay. It's a long time ago. Says here under your hobbies.
I fly fish.
So if I said you needed to kink out a caddis
Yeah.
float, you know what I meant?
I do. I wouldn't be able to tie one, but I would know what you meant. My husband could tie one.
I'm tired.
I'm not.
But I actually got the second largest fish on the Big Horn River a couple of years ago, and I didn't eat mine.
Trout, cuckold,
Rainbow.
how big was it?
Yeah, like that. I have a mountain in my office.
Biggest fish I ever caught, I think, was somewhere.
See the two fingers over here.
I'm not gonna tell your husband that Revelation Lodge is a huge fishing lodge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually received an email today from a fellow brother that just bought a new camper to go along with his about 26-foot travel trailer so he can get back in the woods where fish would really hear him. So I can't thank you enough for all you do.
Thank you, and I just want to thank the lodge for honoring all of us and for those students because they're the reason we're standing up here. And they're wonderful. And, you know, I just love Jasmine and Sorry. I know them both, they're wonderful. So,
I don't like them now too.
We'd like to. Thank you.
You guys want to get out? I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Please.
I've been a little less time than Deb has at Overland, and she is one of the most dedicated teachers. She comes early, she leaves late. What I appreciate about Deb is that she tells you what's on her mind. And it's very refreshing, and she's done amazing things at our STEM center, the anatomy and physiology. I do have a medical background. I was a paramedic, and anatomy and physiology was the most fascinating class I ever took, and I actually got cadavers on that when I was in college. So it's one of the best ones I've been in her class. And she holds kids accountable. And so she's going to take our health program, and she's going to rock it. So I'm very proud to work with her.
We've known each other for 39 years now, married for 36 plus, and she's been dedicated her entire life. Her entire service has been to education. Her degrees are not in education, however, they're in zoology and then in biology. And you know, she took certifications to become a teacher. As long as I've known her, she did always work extremely hard. When she was teaching in Cheyenne, she won an award there for beating the janitors in the school in the morning. And they were gone in the evening by the time she left. So because of that, I've become a pretty good cook. She's been great.
She doesn't beat me to the first
We met at the University of Wyoming. We were both graduate students there in zoology, and we shared an office together.
Go Cowboys.
We're both from New York, and it's kind of serendipitous that we met in Laramie, Wyoming.
I'm going to find out lots. Did you know that?
No, I wouldn't say the minute. Maybe like 2 days later.
Oh, it took you 2 days? You're a little later, right? Let's get a picture.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Mom, Dad, I'm not going to let you just do this by yourself. I want to know the business. You guys, I also want to say, didn't you guys have kind of a tragedy this year? My heart and the homicide family goes to you this year. For those of you that don't know, they had a young man die in a car accident yesterday on E470 around Smoky. as much as we can say, our prayers go out to you in the school, we hope you guys go quick. I'm gonna let you tell me about some of this stuff, because I can't read as fast as you can tell. Chinese, really?
Yeah, I speak Spanish and Chinese. I lived in Mexico for a year. Vice president of International Current Events Discussion Club. I'm active in that church and do volunteer work.
Mandarin or Cantonese?
Mandarin.
Is it really important?
As a matter of fact, this is.
What else did I need to say?
Numerous department awards, FBLA, Young Religious,
Unitarian Universalist. That's my church.
okay. And you volunteer through the church, in school. Your hobbies are reading, photography, theater.
I'm mostly in test for my black belt in karate.
Tech theater. What's tech theater?
Doing the technical side and set training program, costumes, lights, that sort of thing.
You know what your parents do.
Well, we are very proud of Victoria. Despite all of her talents, one thing we admire is that her quiet competence, where she's unassuming and she's humble, and never, even if she wins an award, she won't tell us about it. If she's up for an award, she won't tell us about it. We learn eventually. She's very, very humble and actually likes helping others, working with theater. And for her, you know, the big goal is to make the whole production go well, but not for her to be in the spotlight. So we're very proud of that. Also proud of her tenaciousness, and she's got a tough spirit. When she was about 4 or 5 years old, we were up at the Rocky Mountain National Park and had a bunch of tourists up there, and everybody was freezing their butt off, especially those from other locations, and they're all bundling up. It's about 40, 45 degrees, cold and cloudy and windy, and they said, "Little girl, aren't you cold?" "No, I'm a tough hockey player." She doesn't play hockey anymore, but she still carries that toughness and brings that to everything that she does.
I guess I would just add that, of course, we're very proud of her, but I think the thing I'm most proud of is how caring she is. Yes, she's very smart and very talented and all that, but also spends so much of her time and puts such an effort into helping others in so many different ways. And I think that's
Come on, you guys are actually family, you can stand together. Thanks, guys. Joseph Lee Cho. Did I get it? Yes. Give me some. Joseph, you have to, you want to bring it up here? What's that? Oh, I'm not gonna read anything, I don't know what you do, but I wanna know one thing. I wanna know what's going on over at Grandview High School with you guys and your black belts. Because he too is a black belt, guys. So tell us something about yourself, what you want us to know.
Well, I just want to start off by saying that I none of this was possible without my parents, and their unending love for me and all the sacrifices that they do on a daily basis. And without them, none of that would have been possible. I'm so grateful to have kids like them.
Do you want to tell us about your hobbies or some of the things you do?
I want to dedicate this time to
You know what, I'm gonna respect that. I too was a dad. I'll let you get us done.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for electing my son
us to hear, and I'm still simply overwhelmed by honor of just being standing right here and being able to speak to in front of you about to describe how well my son is and how far he's been progressing so far. I still remember my son was born in Austin, Texas, when my wife and I were both graduate students. So I still remember the moment he just born at the hospital. And time went so fast when we moved over here. And he's now even taller than me and probably 50% smarter than what I think right now. I've been thinking that my son will probably follow my footsteps while I do research in aerospace engineering at the University of Colorado Boulder. But when Joseph was a second grader in elementary school, he began to read more books rather than solving math and things like that. And wow, okay, must be something different career track here. And then guess what? He's right now he's more interested in the world events like foreign affairs and how the law this country works. And I guess that's why he's trying to become more aware of how the whole thing's working. And I think part of the reason is because my wife and I originally from South Korea. So I think he was more aware of the some world outside, not just confined in the United States. So I think it may work pretty well, and I just pray that Joseph will continue and pursue his dream to become a diplomat or a lawyer in his career track. And so we also pray God to help Joseph to guide, find his own way. Because being a engineering background, I really can't give him any practical advice other than saying, okay, go ahead and do it. And I believe he will succeed. And I really appreciate this opportunity for Masons to motivate Joseph to continue pursuing his dream, because it will widen his view of how the whole world works.
Well, thank you, and I'm reading this, and Joseph doesn't need any motivation. He's quite motivated. And before I let him on talk, I will tell you that anytime you would like to tell anything about your achievements, please do. Have become an achiever, and that's good stuff. All that you do.
Yeah, as everybody, because I'm really proud of my son Joseph. And he always thinks, I think, two things when he decides something to do. And the first thing is, how can I enjoy this work? So he tried to learn how to enjoy what he's doing. And then the other thing is, how can I use this, whatever I have, to serve other people? So he tried to serve other people. So that's his most concern at this moment. So I think these two things can make his life successful in the future. Thank you.
Are you his brother?
Yeah.
You want to say anything about him? This is your chance. So you get big brother?
Yeah.
You guys want to get a picture? Here, let me sit down. There we go. Thanks.
Two cameras. One to the parent, one for the district.
Joseph has a quality that I've never quite retained. And that's the quality of silence and humility. I wish I had her. Mr. Tom Dakota from Granville. Dakota? Terrible, huh? You ever been in a position you thought, I really hope this is a dream and I wake up? That's what I wanted to hear out of the teachers. Mr. Todd, do you have an administrator from your school here?
I think Lisa Sprague is here.
We would love Miss Lisa to tell her. Anybody else you want to know?
And his wife, son,
Wife and son? We've got to have wife.
fiance.
Oh, please, amongst yourselves.
They actually graduated from Eagle Crest.
Did they really? Don't you graduate from Eagle Crest?
Back, way back.
I've been that long ago because my son played soccer for at least the heck out of me. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I've written a speech, so I might as well give it.
Please do.
Okay. I've been an English teacher for 35 years. I've taught every grade level from 6th through 12th, having spent the last 28 years at high school level. With English, I teach many practical skills like grammar, reading, and writing. I also spend a great deal of time teaching literature, which sometimes comes under scrutiny. Over the years, one incident in particular stands out. Being a department chairperson, I must report to a parent group yearly about test scores and student progress. Well, several years ago, the person in charge of the parent group, a successful businessman, told me that he didn't understand why any student would want to read literature because it doesn't provide any practical skills. My instinct was to argue with him, but my mind told me that he was right. Being able to understand literature or poetry will not get someone a job interview. Understanding the symbolism in the Scarlet Letter will not earn anyone a bonus. Being able to decipher a Shakespearean sonnet will not earn someone stock options. Yes, I have to concede that literature and its study hold no practical purpose. However, putting my instinct and my mind aside, I can rely on my heart to make a case for reading literature. Isn't it important for a person to know what King Lear feels when confronting a raging storm and realizes that he's just a man, no better than anyone else? And isn't it worth knowing what Hester Prynne feels while she wears the scarlet letter A and all of society turns against her, but she does not forsake her principles? And isn't it valuable to share what Jay Gatsby feels when he reaches for the green light with outstretched hands and with a passion that transcends any obstacle known as reality? I can rely on my heart because it is of such stuff as dreams are made on. Classic literature and ageless poetry will never be useless because man is forever in need of something grander than daily existence and something greater than simple practicality. Literature and poetry make us fully human. I'm proud to be an English teacher, and I'm honored by this award. I'd like to thank Cherry Creek and Grandview High School for employing me. Grandview is a great place to work. Thanks to the Masons for this award and for this evening. I'd like to acknowledge my son Chris, his fiancée Sarah, recently engaged. I'd like to thank my parents, both of whom died during this past year and a half. Most of all, thanks to my wife Cheryl for 34 years. She too is a public school teacher. She is the love of my life, and she is the poetry in my life. I want to tell you, I'm stealing that. That was awesome. Where'd you guys meet?
We met teaching in an inner city school in Perth Amboy, New Jersey, at St. Mary's Elementary and Middle School, and fell in love. But I fell in love with this man, this wordsmith. His words just touched me.
You were helping.
It's true. His dedication, the integrity he brings to everything he does, the creativity, the love of his students. It's just so powerful to be with every day. And I'm a very fortunate woman.
I don't know if there's well, he's not a black belt at Granville.
He's a good teacher because he's not
He's a great teacher, and like Mike was saying about passion, you know, it extends outside the classroom and to me as well. And you know, he just made me a better son, so I'm really proud to have him as a dad.
I can see that. I would be proud to have one as a dad too. Want to say anything about your father-in-law?
I am in my first year of teaching, and gosh, it's very difficult, but to be as successful and put as many countless hours as Tom has into his work, there's no words to describe it. So it's so much dedication, and I'm glad he's being recognized for it.
Eagle Crest. Jamie Griffin. See, you know, I've been watching her all night, and I thought she might give me some trouble. Do you know Ashley House? Ashley's niece. You tell her you met her on Green.
Yes.
We should pass her.
Come on, Dad, you ain't getting out of it.
Oh, I would love to hear, let us give you this award.
Her dad couldn't be here tonight. He had a business trip that he could not get out of, so.
What's he do?
He works for Mitsubishi Electric HVAC. He's the Western United States business manager.
Wow.
Yeah. So her golf coach and her math teacher is coming up here.
I have your niece in class also.
Do you, Ashley?
I'm really in trouble.
In math?
Yeah.
No, I don't think you are, because I knew where she went yesterday. Okay? Fine. It says Japanese. Tell me about Japanese.
In Japanese, please.
You know, you threw you under the bus. It's not me, it's him. Go ahead. I don't know.
I love Japanese. Like, I'm so passionate about it. I'm in National Japanese Honor Society as well, and that's my favorite class, honestly, and I love going. I love going to that class, and I honestly love learning about it. And this past weekend, actually, I competed in it's called Japan Cup, and I was with the team. My teammates over there, and yeah, anything I can do with Japanese, I help them.
How long does it take to learn Japanese?
Well, this is my third year, and I think I know.
You're pretty good. So Spanish is harder because it took me 8 years. Let's see, 5 department awards, freshman and sophomore years, Exceptional Student Award, National Honor Society, Japanese National Honor Society, Student Council, Junior Class Vice President, volleyball, golf, every year varsity. She got a nice backswing?
Oh, yes. Yes, nice swing, start to finish.
How's your short game? Volunteers through schools and organizations over the summer with her free time. She has Japanese, travel, sports, music, and anything Eagle Crest. And I want to tell you something. Everybody I've ever met from Eagle Crest is really passionate about Eagle Crest.
First, I'd just like to start by saying I I thank God for this girl. And not only her, but her teachers, her friends, my friends. We're just like a family, and they help us and they support her in everything that she does. It's wonderful. She was a just elected student body vice president, and like she said, Japanese. We just had the Japan Cup, and golf. She competed in the Tournament of Champions for the state of Colorado this last summer, and got her handicap down to a 2, which is really good. I'm very proud of herself. Played in the state tournament for golf for Eagle Crest, both her freshman and her sophomore year, and hopefully will make it this year. Excellent student. Just as all of you parents have said, I don't have to push her to do her homework or anything like that. She just does it, and it's just, she's a wonderful kid. So.
More than a wonderful kid, she's a perfectionist. I don't know how many of you have had to deal with perfectionists in your life. I imagine this whole group of wonderful students are perfectionists. That poses a little problem to a golf coach because golf is a game you don't play perfectly, and that generates frustration. But to a perfectionist, you take the opportunity to look back, not to see how you screwed up, but what you can do better the next time, because the next one has to be better than what happened before. And I've come to find out as her teacher this year that similar things happened with her as well. She was not in an honors math track prior to this year, but she joined me for honors pre-calculus, swearing she didn't belong there. And she is in the top third of her class there as well, doing an absolutely outstanding job, and still doesn't believe she's good enough to be there. That's the kind of young lady she is. She does everything fantastically, but according to her, none of it is good enough to put her where she is today. She deserves the accolades that she gets. She's a tremendous young lady. I think the world of her. I think the world of her mother, who's our golf team mom as well. And they give back to us more than we have an opportunity to give to them. We're very grateful.
I'm going to tell you guys something. I've been a real estate broker for 25 years, and what I do really well is talk and read people. And her personality, she's been sitting over there, and she's been trying to find something interesting in what I've been saying, and trying to look entertained and interested. I really appreciate it.
She always gives them eye contact and shakes her head at them, and they're like, I just feel like she's always listening to me.
Well, I appreciate that. Because if you ask my wife, I'm the most important person I know. Any extra attention would be helpful. Have a picture.
Oh.
My handicap's a 52.
Xavier Lewis. I am not doing the dance for you. Mr. Xavier? Are they going to tell anyone? You know, before I let you tell us about you, Xavier, you're going to have to.
Okay.
Because all I've got here is football, track, church, involvement,
Right.
mentor in the elementary school.
Right. Okay. So what I do is first I'm a student athlete, but student comes first. So I take pride in my academics. I take some pretty tough classes as well, a lot of work to do, but I take pride in getting good grades and everything that I do. And, also then comes my athletics, which is football and track. And we're always doing training and stuff in there, so it takes up a lot of my time, and when I can, I try to get involved as much as I can. Sometimes at her school or in the church if I can. So. Well, I was told that I wasn't allowed to cry.
Go ahead, buddy.
It's coming.
We have any point
All I can say is I remember, a sister down in Arizona State right now, she's a freshman there. And I remember the first time he said, Dad, I don't want to get these, when do I stop getting checks and pluses and check marks and stuff on my grades? I want letter grades. And because he was mad because his sister was getting all A's in her letter grades because she's a couple years older. So he wasn't, I told him, I said, slow down. You're going to get your letter grades soon. And so, as you can tell, the battle ensued between the two of them throughout their years of high school, junior high and high school. And one thing that I can say is just that, I pride myself in trying to tell the kids, look, you're supposed to be, each generation is supposed to get a lot better than the generation before. And what I can really say is that my kids are worlds past what I've ever done. I mean, I've done my things, and throughout the time that I've coached high school football out here in the state of Colorado for 10 years, I've seen a lot of things happen with young men, and even with young girls that have been in different programs and stuff like that. And you just wish you could have been able, and I know you teachers understand this, you wish you could have held on to them a little longer and said, this is the right track, stay on. And you'll understand what I'm talking about later. And from all the opportunities that Xavier's getting now are a blessing. We're traveling to the colleges and stuff and talking to them. It's a blessing to be able to have the coaches say, well, one thing, he plays good, but what are his grades like? And when you sit there and you go, well, 4.6, they're like, oh my God, it's something that just shows as much as you parents put into your children, they're going to give it back, and we see this here. And I just want to thank the Lord that I get the opportunity, to be able to raise such a great family. And my wife's a teacher as well, so, she's always wanting to stay in the church school district. So, you guys that are in the administration or whatever, definitely talk to her later. But we just got a phenomenal family. Everybody works so hard, and I'm so proud of everybody and all they do. And I'll try to keep it as short and sweet as I can. And I did cry as much as I probably will later on. But he's a great kid, and I just pray that the Lord continues to bless him with what he's doing, because as you can see up here, you guys, there's not a lot of African American males that are sitting up here as far as themselves as great students. And I've told him many times before, I said, you replace me, because you're my own son. So you replace me when the time comes. You're the one that's in charge of this family. And so that's something that's really important for me. And he's raising, so he's growing up, and he's moving out on his own, and he's doing his own thing. And I tell him now the decisions are between you and the Lord. So because I'm not the one that's going to influence you any further. I've given you everything that I could, and now it's up to you and the Lord. When you pray on it, trust in Him, He'll take you really, really far. So proud of you, sir.
It's my brother's, and he says it's certified clean. Use it as your little residue.
Well, I'm actually Xavier's stepmom, and I got to meet Xavier when he was 8. And I remember, when me and my husband first got together going, oh man, it's kind of close to adolescence. So I kind of prepared myself, for what you hear adolescence usually becomes. And to be honest, that time never came. Xavier continued to, bring us awards and just be a great role model for the younger children and myself. I actually just finished my teaching degree this year, and
Cherry-Creek School System.
And he's been a lot of my inspiration to continue on with my passions.
Xavier, what position do you play in football?
I play free safety.
Really?
Yeah.
And where do you plan on going to school?
Really, We don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know yet. Right. He can go anywhere.
We're
he
just go
wants.
visit. Last place we just visited was University of Wyoming.
Yeah.
See you. Do you guys want to say anything about your big brother?
Yes.
Go ahead and say something. Tell us something none of us know about your big brother.
You can say how they do.
Yeah. What about you, sweetie? You want to say anything? You know. Here, let's scoot over this way for a picture, guys. Here, come over this way. I want to get that out. Where are you, Chris? Mr. David Franklin. Yeah, no? Did I get it? You got it. Yes! I measure success in small steps. I would love everybody involved with Mr. David to come up. And if you think you're alive and you're going to escape, we will seek you out and find you. We're hoping for you, David. Tell us. Tell us all about you. How old are you? Look young.
I've been teaching for 11 years.
Wow.
So, not that young anymore. But, I will say this. When I was a kid, growing up, my parents always said, do whatever you want to do. They're both teachers as well. So do whatever you want to do, just don't become a teacher. And here we are. And my older sister is also a teacher as well. So we both kind of ignored that advice. But it's a pleasure to do it every day. And there's certainly, people say it's a tough job and there's hard days, there certainly are, but it's these students that make it worthwhile. And I had the pleasure of having Xavier in class last year. And absolutely, it makes it a joy to come to work every day and to see what they're up to and all the success they're having. I'll tell a couple jokes now.
Your hobbies, camping?
Yeah, a lot of outdoorsy stuff, love traveling. It's the beauty of the summer vacation, getting to get to different continents, different countries.
Now I want to start it
the rest of the world. Sorry. Do a lot of skiing. I teach downtown at CU Denver as well. I teach some evening classes there. But I listen to all the things they do and all their hobbies, and I'm thinking to myself, I've really got nothing. That's what I have to put on my paper.
I would have to say, Dave, you are selling yourself short in just how you're explaining how you are and what you mean to our school. Eagle Crest is a school that prepares each and every student for college success. And our math department, the way in which they sharpen each other's countenance, the way that they are still just hitting steel, just sharpening each other. Dave is he's an example of that. Our math department is on the forefront of all the things we do at Eagle Crest as far as student achievement and our PLTs and just where we're looking to go. They lead the charge. They're always having something going on that we can look at and say, wow, this is what Eagle Crest does. And it usually starts from the math department. Now within the math department, you have a bunch of very competitive people who are looking to make sure kids are successful. And when we ask them, okay, who would you want to represent your school? And hands down, they said Dave Frank. And to speak as to what Mr. Gould said, Mr. Gould's way of saying it, he's number one, he's boss man. You know, that southern charm and that southern twang, and he just spoke a little bit about how you're there after school for all the kids, and how you just don't let go, and your tenacity is just impeccable. But to speak to what your department chair said, he says a few words about Dave Franum. If you walk by room 105 after school on any given afternoon, you'll find at least a half a dozen students in Dave's room eagerly waiting his tutelage. They know he is always there for his assistance, and he will always have a smile on his face. Students love him. During the day, you will find him in the resource room helping everyone. At lunch, you will find him helping teachers with technology issues or putting together plans for us. In the math department, Dave has an enormous impact on our growth these past few years. He has single-handedly brought in a variety of new instructional techniques to teaching algebra, and has had his fingerprints on the district-adopted GBC and in the writing of new curriculum for the district as we move to the National Common Core standards. He has revamped the entire honors pre-calculus curriculum on his own. He is a practitioner of advanced strategies, is a national board certified, and is most recent recipient of the Eagle Crest Principals Award for Excellence in Instruction. Dave is the first to implement a new strategy, and is the first to think about applying the things that we learn in staff meetings and in service days, and he is on the cutting edge of using technology in the classrooms. He is the first to offer help for anyone who may need it. Dave has led the algebra PLT for years and has done a fantastic job. He is always seeing his interactions with students through the lens of student thought processes. He is always considerate, and he always considers, what do we want them thinking here? And he gears his lessons around that. Dave is an extraordinary fellow, and his students are lucky to have them as their teacher. And really, for Mr. Russo to say that, that speaks a lot. That guy doesn't give out compliments to anyone. So, to Dave Franum, we thank you at Eagle Crest for all the things that you've done, and we ask that you continue to do so.
Well, I guess the only bit that I have to add, David is an absolute perfectionist, like these students, and he's always kind of approached his life with that mentality. So anytime he can improve things or improve his teaching skills and things like that, he definitely goes for it, and he's always got the best intentions. Here in Denver.
I'm not even doing anything.
Yeah.
Come on over here, guys. Cherry Creek High School, this is Jessica Delbert. Does that know? You aren't going to give me the problem either. Okay, parents. Here, let's get it.
Best have her speak for herself. Just gonna say.
She was one of them. These two I was a little bit worried about. This one here and this one. Go ahead, tell us all about you.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank people who have nominated me, and I am truly honored to be sitting with you guys personally, because listening to your guys' stories have like blown me out of the water.
I don't think so. I'm reading.
Well, my first passion in life has been track, and I've been running that for all 4 years, well,
Since you were this big.
for a long time, but I've taken it seriously my last couple of years in high school. And I want to thank my track coach, Mr. Keith Billingsley, for really motivating me to just step up my game and really take life seriously now and realize my own potential. And my two best friends who are on my track team, who have really just gotten me through everything, and words cannot describe what I've learned from them, and I just hope to teach everyone else what they have just really done to me and really changed my outlook on life and everything. But to be honest, the one thing this year that have just really opened up my eyes was I joined the unified basketball team at Creek. And I have to be honest, those kids are kids that I promise every one of you, if you meet them, you will just fall head over heels for them because they are just undescribable. I mean, they can come to every practice and just change your day. I mean, they're the most positive, they dream the biggest, and I just can't describe what they have done for me. And it's just brought Creek closer together. I mean, we got people to come to our games that would have never, I mean, they didn't even know who these kids were. They were just stuck in, another building down in East, and we really got everyone to come together, and it showed me that everyone was a good person inside, and I just love taking the things that I've learned personally this year from all my people who have changed my life and just doing what I can to infect people and change them for the better. But
I'm actually.
I'm just honored to be here.
Pretty impressed with it because that's what I got from you, is that you really, for those of you, I assume the unified basketball team is the team of kids with special needs that she works with.
Yeah.
She also partakes and volunteers for Make-A-Wish Foundation, but she didn't tell you. So I'm going to let her parents talk.
Okay. We're very proud of Jessica. I guess what you need to know about Jessica, she's very passionate about what she does. I think she's kind of taken the next step and trying to level the playing field for a lot of the kids who struggle at our high school. And we're really proud of that. We're really proud of the dedication and the hours that she puts in, not just for academics, but as making a well-rounded. And we do believe it is a village to raise a child. So again, what Jessica said in terms of thank you, thanks for everybody, Mr. Silva, Keith, Romo, and Club, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
It's really, when you look at somebody and you look at the people that they choose to surround themselves with, that lets you know a little bit about their character. And when I look at my daughter and see the choices that she's made from the friends and other people in the groups, she bounces from one group to the next, but they're all just amazing people, and they create this person who's just makes me happy.
You want your BFFs up here? So let's get Jeremy. You guys ready?
I'll just pull it off the page.
I'm sure it Keith, will you come up too? This is practically my second family, so.
Well, what's happening on the front?
There just doesn't work.
I told you guys I was a big baseball player. I know what BFF is.
How about your team?
Oh, it's a phone.
Who knows it's coming?
Thank you God for everything. I know we are a whole family behind set down there. We got a little pretty good, so.
Absolutely. Homero Ortiz.
He had to leave tonight.
He did?
Yes.
Did I say his name right?
You did.
Yes, you did.
Good job.
We're all good. He was co-president of Alma, Cherry Creek High School, Latino Hispanic Leadership Group, Principals Committee accountability meetings with Mr. Silva. Ms. Gregory's CCSD Latino Students Leaders. And soccer and drawing. We'll get that to you. Yale Abertson?
Yael.
Yael. See, you laughed, I should have known.
It happens at doctor's offices.
Your handwriting. Cherry Creek Administrators, please. Your husband, did she?
My husband is in Chicago at a wine conference.
My wife said. Would you please tell us? I'll let you tell us.
Well, I, like everybody else, I think I feel a little bit humbled. I think all of us feel very fortunate to do what we do. I, like Tom, I teach English, and I teach the advanced classes lately. And thinking about just today, even with my sophomores, we were doing Catcher in the Rye, and talking about things that happen to all of us and what literature can do for us. And what I love about my job, well, I love many things, but one of the things that I love is I've taught some of these books for 20 years now, and they never get old because my students always give me something new, because they're coming to it fresh, and they keep me relatively young. So I'm very grateful. I'm actually a Creek grad. So I've been teaching there for 20 years, and I feel like I've been there for pretty much my whole life. And I'm glad that I have been there.
81? Hey, what? I had a whisper in my ear. Oh, shush.
But it came right through.
Can I tell a quick story? I was going to high school in 1984. We had to actually go through the locker rooms and pick out big freshmen, sophomores, to play football. So we played both sides of the ball. We went down to your Stutler ball for a scrimmage. It was the worst day of my life. We had 20 of our fittest, corn-fed and hand-spaked boys from Golden out on the line. You guys came out, you were end-to-end zone people. All right, I'm over it.
I'm Steve Cash. I'm the coordinator of the English department, and I also teach the same courses as Yael, which is always a problem, because when it comes time to recommending students as to who they should take, I teach the exact same periods as Yael, and I'm always saying, oh, Miss Abrahamson would be a really good choice, and they usually always choose her. I've had two daughters go through Cherry Creek High School. Both of them asked Dad, who should I take? I said, take Yael. And my oldest daughter is getting married this summer, and she's inviting two people from Cherry Creek High School, and it's got to be Miss Abrahamson. She graduated from CU and said the best teacher she ever had was this woman. Yael just has the ability, no matter what she's teaching, whether it would be literature of the West, whether it would be a creative writing course, whether it would be AP, whether it be a normal course, to just connect with students and make them feel good, and at the same time push them farther than anybody else in the department. So, you deserve it.
I'm ready.
Hey, you guys want to do it or not?
I'm Ryan Sullivan, I'm the principal at Cherry Creek. We have 208 faculty members, and this year when we met as an administrative team to select our Mason Outstanding Teacher, it was an easy chore for us to do because Yael is outstanding at everything that she does. She has taught at Cherry Creek for a number of years, taught advanced level courses, and does an outstanding job with all of her students. But she's also very flexible. So prior to, actually when I first arrived at Cherry Creek, I was a Spanish teacher, and one of the first teachers I met was Yael, because she not only has taught English at Creek, but she was a French teacher too. So she would navigate our 82-acre campus, teaching English on one end and then French on another end, and do both of them very well. And then when we had a gifted and talented coordinator retire, we had a big void to fill. And again, it was an easy decision to make who would do a wonderful job working with some of our brightest students who also have some of the biggest needs at times, and that was Yael. So she is an English teacher, but she's also our gifted and talented coordinator. And I sit on the gifted and talented committee and see what a wonderful job she does leading that group. And the kids adore her, just like they do in class. And I know that as a principal, I adore her, and I love having you there. So congratulations.
I have a question. Does she sing?
I wouldn't be surprised if she does. She
I
does
sang in a
everything.
Gaelic choir in France.
I have the first-hand information here that you sing. Maybe downstairs later.
Doubtful.
You all are trying to sneak over to the side. We want you in the center. Kristen Matson.
Kirsten.
I'm finished. I give. I'll put it on the minute after I'm done humiliating myself a little bit more, and I think I would like to meet with the English teachers that are here. Oh, wow.
And it's okay, I saw this misspelled.
Yeah.
Sure, so maybe that's where you got misspelled. It
No,
often happens.
K-I-R, it's Kirsten.
Oh, I'm there.
See, that's what
It's not
learning
that you
how to
can't
sign.
talk, you can't read.
And you know what? Our father taught us phonetic. I should know better. Here, you want that? Remember, this is the day the idiot messed up. Tell us about you.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and my parents who are very loving and supporting, and I love them very much, and my sisters who are my best friends. I'm very thankful for my family and everyone who supports me. I really enjoy school. I love participating in my school, especially in extracurricular activities, being involved in my school, and supporting my peers and being a leader. That's something I really enjoy doing and taking leadership positions. So I've been very involved in French club, science club. I'll be the president for NHS next year, which I'm really excited to do because we do lots of service activities. I'm really excited to do that. And outside of school, I have a varsity letter in equestrian sports. I've been doing that since I was 9. I really enjoy doing that and being a part of my church.
It says here you surf. I want to know how you do that.
I don't do that in Colorado. I learned last summer in California, and I caught on really quickly, and I really enjoyed it. So I hope to be able to do that more.
Wow.
What's your equestrian sports?
I do English riding. I do hunter jumping.
Randy was in equestrian.
Yeah, I went all the way through Western Mass. I used to do the pyramids and stand on the back of the horses. That might be what's wrong. I've done that a few times. What's your parents? We purposely don't tell you we're going to put you on the spot. I want to tell future parents that we actually do this, and we do it every year.
No, it's good. So I think the best thing to do is to kind of tell a story. Right? We like to tell a story.
I've been trying all night to tell this story.
So my wife and I kind of grew up running. We both ran in high school and college, and as it's kind of been a common theme this evening. I was fortunate enough when we started, we lived back east for a few years, and I had a pretty flexible job allowing me to coach for a couple of years, so I was able to coach at a high school out there while working full-time off campus, and that was a lot of fun. So fast forward a couple of years to when Kirsten's getting ready to go to high school here, and she says she's gonna start going to summer running camp on the Cherokee Trail, which means getting up at 7:30 in the morning and meeting the team out by the track there at Cherokee Trail. And I'm thinking, this is kind of neat, it's kind of fun. So she started out barely being able to run a mile, I think at the first few practices, and got up that summer, I think, ended up running 10 miles with the team and doing different things. That freshman season, she ran one of the top 5 times for a Cherokee Trail freshman during the season. Got injured near the end of the season, kind of nursed through the injury and everything, and came back in track and got a varsity letter her freshman year in track. And then still was kind of working through the injury during the summer, and got back together with the team and was working out with the team during the summer, and came back to run her sophomore year. Ran in the first meet down in Colorado Springs, and I was loving this, being out cheering on the team, helping them out and everything. And we got home from that meet, I think it was the next Monday after that. She said, "Mom, Dad, I need to talk to you." And so I'm thinking, okay, what's happening at school? What's going on with something? And we're sitting there in the family room. She says, "Mom, Dad," and I think the next words out of her mouth were, "I hate running." And so, I sat there, and it was kind of a bit of a shock to me at first, but then I started thinking about it. So here's a 15-year-old who kind of knows the situation that she's in, and she had the confidence and the ability to come and tell us how she really felt, something that she was having a little bit of success at, but really just did not like doing, and she was not going to do it for other people. She is going to do what she wants to do for herself, and I'm so glad, because she's making good choices. She's doing things for others, lots of service activities and those kind of things, and she does not try to live for other people. She lives for what she knows is right, and thankfully, through her friends, through other things, she is making good choices in that. And she teaches us quite a bit. I mean, that experience taught me quite a bit that, you can't do things for other people. You've got to do them for yourself. So she constantly teaches us through pointing out inconsistencies, which we all have quite a bit, but we learn to work through those things. So it's great. I really enjoy having her, and again, I've learned a great deal from her and the interactions that we've had.
Yeah, I want to just thank you all for inviting us here tonight, and it's so great to hear the stories from parents, what the accomplishments of all you students. It's really an honor to be here. We are very proud of Kirsten, as you've heard, and love her and just really enjoy her. I really appreciate her trustworthiness, that she appreciates her families and her family and friends, something I really enjoy about her. I like her stick-to-itiveness and just her desire to go after what she wants. Probably a couple of years ago, the opportunity to have lessons riding just wasn't there anymore. She said to me one day, "Mom, I'm going to find a horse on the internet to ride." I thought, gosh, I'm going to find a horse on the internet. And she came back and said, "Well, I have an appointment to meet this horse," and someone said to me, "Well, how much is that going to cost?" And just all these different negative things. Well, 2 years later now, Mouse is her friend to go visit every afternoon. Most afternoons when she has time to ride, she'll go. Probably my favorite text from her in the afternoon is "Leaving Mouse House." It's very short, but I know she's safe. She's on her way home, and she's had a fun ride. And the owner of the horse has told us when she's ready to sell, Kirsten gets the first option. We just hope it doesn't cost too much.
You guys want to say anything about your sister, please?
Well, she's an awesome sister.
Is she, or are you just saying that?
She really is.
She's not a black belt, so you can say that.
How about you?
She's a really nice sister, and sometimes when my dad
Not even mac and cheese?
Yeah, mac and cheese there.
I like mac and cheese. You guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Keep up the good work. Now Freeman. I know I did. Who's that?
I was actually going to spell it C-Y-L-E.
That would have thrown me. Kyle, tell us all about you.
Oh, well, listen to all the other kids. I mean, I'm involved in a lot of the other activities they are. Some of the most passionate things I am in school is student leadership, which I'll be the student body president next year, and DECA, which I took first in state, first year, and sixth in the world. So those are just two of my passions I have, is business and government.
That's right. Not, you're a phenomenal public speaker, right?
No.
All I can really say is we're really proud of Kyle, all his accomplishments and how he's focused and everything he's been doing. I agree with the guy that was here before about the next generation being better. And this one's passed me up pretty good. He's really good at letting you know too. Other than that, he's a great kid, and his mom spent a lot of time writing, so I'll let her do her speech.
Well, Kyle actually wrote my speech for me, so that I don't know what to say and what to say about me.
She asked me to.
So when Kyle was 4 years old, he said to me, "Mom, I want to be a Supreme Court judge." And ever since then, his whole life has actually been geared around being a Supreme Court judge. Every class that he takes, everything he's done, everything he reads, what we watch on TV, the whole series of West Wing. I can't tell you how important this award is to Kyle. When he came home and said that he was going to be awarded the Mason Award, he was ecstatic. He was beside himself, and I've got a 4-hour lesson of how the Masons got started. Ever since he's been young, he has books about the Freemasons. He has books about the Knight Templars. He loves everything there is about the Freemasons, and so to be honored by them is probably better than the best grade point average, the best college you'll ever get into. This means a lot to him.
Well, I wanted to tell you, we as an organization are honored to have Kyle, and I might need my brother's hanky. Because Kyle has written down here that he shows some interest in one day becoming a Freemason, and I don't think the fraternity could be more honored than just hearing that. So, thank you very much.
Come up for the picture. All of you.
All of you.
Kathy, too.
All of you.
Yeah, look at all you guys.
Everybody. How you doing, guys?
No.
Who are these people? All right. Come on up here with me.
My girlfriend and her parents, stepmom and stepdad.
Wow.
And one more.
14th and Grant, corner of 14th and Grant downtown. There's a Scottish Rite and Masonic building. They have lunches down there every Friday, $10. The company who he was just talking about.
I'd buy it.
And he's a judge. And I want you to get your law degree because evidently there's been a warrant issued for your arrest. You guys laugh, but there has. Another. Spilling, says yours.
What I was telling was, is the Supreme Grand Inspector General for the state of Colorado.
The big wig over the 33rd degrees with the purple hat that was Sunday behind.
He is the chief judge in Jefferson County, so Kyle and I are, I'm gonna introduce him so he can talk to not only masonry, but whatever you call it, judgment.
Steve's a real nice guy too, or your ownership or whatever. So you guys are getting arrested on May 16th for muscular dystrophy. They're going to throw me in the jail at Embassy Suites. So if any of you guys are on Facebook, you can go find me, Randy Harold, Harrold, and watch my page. I'll be putting information so you can all donate to get me out. You probably could. And you might talk to Olympia about that too. Olympia's my wife. Dennis Grable. Grable. Son of a gun. Thank you, sir. And you are a math teacher. And with which school? Cherokee Trail High School. Mrs. Grable.
Mrs. Grable.
Yes, sure.
No. No. Positive.
Dave, were we married?
No.
All right, we're good then. I'll let you go ahead.
Well, I've only been teaching a few years, 41 years. So I think you left the folder still last.
You know, I also want to say that 41 years teaching and has never been recognized for an award like this, and evidently you can be very, very highly recommended. I'm very surprised. Very, very surprised.
But anyway, 41 years, my love and passion has been working with young adults like these guys right here. They're just awesome. And like I said, my passion is still there. I love it. I'm going to retire in a couple of years. I'm going to do myself. It's going to be tough. But I just love it. Math also is my my love of life. My wife of 32 years, Diane. I have 2 kids. Both of them are in college. One's getting a PhD and the other's engineering up at CSU right now. So they're just about done. So I can retire soon.
Retired. Soon to be retired. A lot of these guys, that's what they do when they're retired, is they come be Masons.
But anyway, my love and my passion has always been with youth. It's amazing. I think back when I was actually 6 years old, believe it or not, this is a true story. My first 6 years, I went to a one-room schoolhouse with one teacher, Mrs. Troughton, and that's where I became enthralled upon teaching. I had one teacher, she had 15 kids, 1 or 2 kids to a grade. And I could not figure out how she could teach math, science, history, sing, dance, proctor recess, watch us slide down the hill. This was in southeastern Minnesota. To this day, I don't know how she did it all. But that was where my love for teaching started, I think. And then my love for youth through camps and working with kids in college and so forth. I just had to be a teacher, and I'm just so glad I did it. So it's been my love, and it's been my passion, and I appreciate kids like this and all the kids that I've taught over the years. It's been, I counted the other day, I'm over 4,000 kids I've taught, so it's been pretty cool.
I want the dirt. 30-some years ought to give me a little bit.
Well, I see him go from the time we've been married, go from teaching and then starting computers from scratch and teaching those to kids and then going back to math again. And he truly loves being in the classroom. That is his true love. There's no doubt about it. I work with Olive Garden on the weekends, Friday, Saturday nights. It's kind of a part-time job for me. In addition to my other job, I teach, work at a pediatric dentist. But when I first started working there, I realized that all the kids I was working with were his students. And then they all realized who I was. But, no, it was good. It was very good. That's where I think I more than ever really realized, how he is in the classroom. Because to this day, I've never seen him teach in a classroom. But I realized by talking to the kids, and, they were so appreciative of what they got from his teaching and what they just appreciated the way he put into it. He's always willing to help people. He goes to work at 6 and gets home at 6. And that's been, both of us are workaholics, it's been that way forever. And our kids are ending up the same way. So.
And he still finds time to be an elder in the church.
Mm-hmm.
Which church?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Very active.
Where'd you guys meet?
Right here in Denver, at a real estate school.
Real estate course.
I was trying to earn my degree in real estate, this next year.
And I was in the airlines, taking time off to teach real estate in the winter when I did ski.
Wow. I trained for Remax. It's horrible. Okay, so what was she wearing?
It was a short dress.
You could have been my
I'm Kim Rao, and I'm the principal at Cherokee Trail. And the reason I know I haven't been here for the last 2 years is this is my first year at Cherokee Trail. So I know I haven't been here.
I recognize you from somewhere. I know that's a horrible line. I don't mean it to be.
No, not at all. Our paths have probably crossed because I've been in Colorado a very long time. When we decided to honor Dennis, it was for many, many reasons, but most importantly is for his leadership that he has given to our MAC department. He has been our coordinator for the past 6 years, and unfortunately he has decided to step down from that position. But I think what is so honorable about why he is stepping down is one thing about a coordinator is you don't teach a full load of classes. You teach some classes, but you don't teach all of them. And as he just said, is he knows he's going to retire in the next few years. And the reason he gave is that he wants to get back to the classroom full time. And he wants to finish his career as a full-time teacher. And he's getting upset because he's one of those, we're both criers, all right? And when I first came to Cherokee Trail, he was one of the first coordinators that I met. And I could tell immediately just how passionate, thank you very much. I could tell just how passionate this man is about his department, how passionate he is about his content. He predominantly teaches our honors pre-calc courses, and how passionate he is about the classroom. And one thing about Dennis is when you say he's there at 6 in the morning and doesn't leave, it's because he is trying to make the math department an exceptional department. He is data-driven, he looks at it, he shares the data. I swear every 3 weeks I get an email from Dennis about, I got more data, Kim. All right, I have, and what we're doing with it. His leadership in PLT for the math teachers is also just so impressive. And when you've been teaching 41 years and you still have the passion that Dennis has, you don't see that a lot. And students are lucky, and oftentimes we see teachers that are on their last years, and sometimes we say, oh please, when are you going to retire? But not with Dennis. With Dennis, it will be a very, very sad day when he leaves the classroom and when he says goodbye to Cherokee Trail. And we will miss him, and you are going to come and visit in these next couple of years because you are going to watch your husband teach. All right, so,
I'll be partially retired.
okay, so you can come and watch him do his magic with his kids and his students.
Yeah.
But thank you, Dennis, for all you have done for Cherokee Trail and the math department.
Thank you. One of the things that I've heard about for most of the teachers and administrators is, it's no big deal, it's real easy to do. I gotta tell you guys, I know it's not easy. And as a parent of a son who's in college now, I really, really appreciate what you administrators do. Please keep doing it, and hopefully you can breathe that passion into a few more, and our world will look a little bit brighter. You guys, I'm up there reading the sheets, and I see one common denominator amongst all of you, and that's faith. And I don't think people really talk about it much. Keep it up and good work. You guys have the world open to you. You can do whatever you want. And when you get in the car, at my age, their age, and you turn on the radio and you hear about the politics on that side or the politics on this side, a lot of the horrible things that are going on in the world, I can come here one night a year and look at you guys and know there's hope. And I love it. To you guys raise great kids, and you should be proud. Thank you. We do have some cake and some refreshments down in the basement for you guys, and we really do appreciate it. People often say that charity is for other people. I would argue that charity is selfish. I have learned through the Masonic organization the giving of my time and myself is really kind of selfish. I do it because it makes me feel good. And I am so glad that everybody here showed up to really make me feel good. Because if you ask my wife, I think I'm the most important person there is. Thanks a ton, guys, and we'll see you downstairs.